Testing. Well, good evening and welcome to Shelby, Montana, the Coyote Kick Tip-Off Classic as the Vikings get ready to play tonight in their first game of the season. And they'll be taking on the Malta Mustangs on this Thursday night. Usually the tournament starts on Friday and Saturday. They're running it tonight. Thursday, asked a couple teams to come in early because they have more teams in there this year. And so with that, the Vikings decided, and the Valkyries decided to come early. Back-to-back games tonight as the Vikings will take on the Malta Mustangs. And then the Valkyries, right after this game, about 7:30, they will be taking on the Emmets from Malta High School. This is James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, and glad to be with you. 406-270-7384. Let me know that you can hear me out there. I talked to first-year head coach, John Hallow, and I had an interview with him earlier, and we'll get to that tonight at halftime, as we got about 2 minutes till we go on. The pregame brought to you by the Bigfork Dental Center. Dr. Aaron Price and team at the Bigfork Dental Center are proud to support Vikes and Vals athletics. See Dr. Aaron Price and her dental team for all your dental needs, including digital radiographs, tooth-colored fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, dentures, and much more. Now accepting new patients of all ages. Call today at 837-5611 or BigForkDental.com. Dr. Aaron Price, thank you for sponsoring Big Fork Athletics, the Vikings tonight. And let's get the starting lineups. First of all, for the Malta Mustangs, Malta is wearing their home whites. Check that, in dark blue with white stripe is Malta. And here's their lineup. First of all, a 6'2" junior, number 12, Cooper Oxnard. Also 6'2", senior, number 22, Ben Costin. At 6 foot, even a sophomore, number 24, Rex Williamson. Tanner Smith, number 30, at 6'2", he's also a senior. And Connor Tuss, a 6'5" sophomore, wearing number 32 for head coach David Costin, assisted by Travis Summerfield and Zach Hanley. For the Vikings tonight, under their first-year head coach John Hallow, who came out of Helena, coached Helena High over there, and now coaching the Vikings. And he'll be assisted tonight with a new assistant, Brodson Harker, and then Jimmy Epperly is back as well, coaching the C team or freshman team as we about get underway. The starting lineups for the Vikings, you can have number 1, a 6'7" senior forward, Colt Thorness, a 6'5" guard forward, senior number 2, Eli Hines, at guard 5'7" junior, number 5, Walker Fisher. At 5'10", a sophomore forward, number 10, Levi Taylor. At forward, a 6'4" junior, number 14, Wyatt Duke. And I'm going to pause here momentarily as we do the national anthem here to kick off this tournament. All right, we got the national anthem out of the way, and I'm going to try to play some of the interview with first-year head coach John Hallow. Take a listen to this. This is pregame.
All right, I'm here with first-year head Vikings football coach Patrick Munson over here.
I got to get the right one. Here it is with John Hallow.
With first-year head coach for the Bigfork Vikings, John Hollow. And Hollow, you take over a story program that has won the last 2 State B championships and lost all their seniors, but what's your mindset coming into that, replacing that they continue that on, or this is a new team in a new year?
Well, I definitely think it's a new team in a new year, but I'm excited about it. I think we're very talented. We're probably a little wet behind the ears still, and so we've got to play. I mean, you could sit and do practice and everything else, but the way to gain experience and everything else is to go out and play. And so I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's a heck of a lot better to be pretty talented, pretty athletic, and inexperienced than the alternative. So I'm excited to see these guys roll. I think they're going to do great things, and we're going to continue to get better as the year progresses, I guarantee, which is going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, and I agree with that. A different team. You got some guys that had a little bit of varsity experience last year during the regular season, a ton of JV experience in the middle, 6'7", Colt Thorness, right? Got Van Kampen coming back. You got Hines. Also, you got Reichenbach, another Reichenbach. The twins graduated last year. How are they looking? I know this could be your first game tonight. How are they looking in practice in that first scrimmage?
You know, our seniors so far, I couldn't be more prouder, honestly. I kind of told them from the start when I got here, this is their team. I tell every team I've ever coached, we're going to go as far as our seniors take us. They don't have to be our best players, but we need the leadership, the structure, and all that. And our 4 seniors have been phenomenal. I'm excited about Colt. I think he's a potential all-state kid. Reichenbach can shoot it when he gets confident. Asher plays as hard as any guy I've ever had, and Eli's one of those guys. We were just actually talking in the locker room that he can kind of play any position you want him to play. So I'm excited for them. They've got some younger guys that are going to start tonight that are going to fill some spots and that are going to do some great things too. So like I said, I don't know what we're going to get out of here, but I can tell you this. I know we're going to play.
All right, we're getting ready to tip off here. We'll have more of that at halftime. And here's the tip, Thorness tipping it up. And the tip is won by Malta. And number 12, Oxnard with the ball. Out to the top of the key. He'll give it to Williamson. Williamson over to Oxnard. Top of the key, Williamson. And Costin is swinging across to Oxnard in the middle. 32, Tuss. Tuss kicks it out to Costin. And good defense by the Vikings. Got it underneath. Puts it up. Number 30, Tanner Smith up over Colt Thorness and a bucket. Bring it up is Walker Fisher at the point. And he'll call the play out. Brings it across the timeline. Dribbles around to the right side. Going to drive it. Gets it out to Colt Thorness. Top of the key. Shot. Left-handed shot. In and out. And no good. Rebounded by Williamson. Williamson brings it up the key and throws it away as he tries to hit Tuss in the corner. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 7:12 to go. Trailing 2-0 here early. Hines went down to Fisher. Fisher bringing it up the court. He'll break it in the front court. Guarded there by Williamson. Kicks it over to Hines on the right wing. Hines looking to drive. Kicks it, looks back out. Kicks it over to Fisher. Fisher, three-point shot on the left wing. Just short off the rim and no good. And coming up with the rebound is number 22, Ben Costin. Kicks it up the court to Oxnard. Oxnard underneath to Williamson. Underneath. And up. Shot up by Tanner Smith. Gets Thorness up in the air and draws the foul. And Tanner Smith will go to line to shoot 2 for the Malta Mustangs with 6:47 to go on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. 2-0 Malta leads. First free throw up is good by Malta. And they extend the lead 3-0. Second shot on the way by Smith is good. A 4-0 lead by the Mustangs over the young Vikings. Hines into Fisher. Fisher looks to get over to Hines in the right wing. Out top. Thornton's going to set a screen. Hines going to go around it to the top key. Fisher, three-point shot on the wing. No good off the front of the iron. And rebounded there by Tuss. Tuss up the left side. Picked up by Taylor. Kicks it out to Oxnard. Back to Tuss. Back to Williamson. Back to Tuss. Tuss is going to go up. Blocked by Thornton. Thornton blocks it. Smith gets the ball up to Walker. Fisher. Fisher running up the court. Gives it to Levi. Taylor. Taylor off the rim and off the backboard. And good for 2 on a nice run out by the Vikings. And that bucket is good by Levi Taylor. And he'll go to the line to shoot the and one for the Vikings. 6:14 to go on your Montana Athletic Cup scoreboard. And Taylor to shoot the and one. Up and good by Taylor. We have a 4-3 ball game. Malta leading Bigfork. Inbound to Williamson. Williamson kicks it over to Tuss. Tuss back to Williamson. Over to Costin. Costin looking inside. He's 2-3 zone by the Vikings. And a shot on the way from three-point land for number 22. Ben Costin is good for Malta. And a 7-3 lead by the Mustangs. Fisher. Cross timeline, Williamson meets him right there. Hines on the left wing gets the ball from Fisher. Looking underneath for Thornus, gives it out to Fisher. Fisher on the left side, driving up off the backboard, no good. Thornus tried to get it. Fisher grabs it underneath, kicks it out to Levi Taylor. Taylor looking to drive, baseline, does, off the backboard. He's going to get fouled, and he's going to shoot two for the Vikings. And Taylor will go back to draw the Vikings closer with 2 free throws with 5:25 go. First shot off the back of the rim and no good by Taylor. He'll get one more. Taylor's second shot up and good, and a 7-4 lead for Malta. Williamson gets the ball across the timeline, feeds it over to Costin. Costin gets under Smith, blocked by Thornus, and Fisher brings it up the court, looking, stops at the top of the key, pops a three, in and out, no good. And Taylor almost come with the rebound and grabbed there by 32. Tuss will kick it out to Oxnard. 3-point shot by Oxnard on the way, back of the rim, no good. And Hines will grab the long rebound over on the right side, heading right to left. Tries to get underneath, does Hines to Wyatt Duke, and knocked out of bounds by the Mustangs. And it'll be Bigfork basketball underneath. The Vikings heading right to left on your dial. Malta left to right here in Shelby. It's about 38 degrees when we got here, and the wind is howling, I tell you. So that wind chill makes it a little bit colder. Thornus into Duke. He kicks it out to 21 in the Epperly in the ball game. Shot by Thornus off the backboard and no good. Williamson, 3-point shot on the right wing, off the rim and no good. Rebound by Smith. Smith puts it up. He gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. So the Vikings in the ball game is Thornus, Taylor, Wyatt Duke, Isaac Epperly, and Walker Fisher. And that foul was on number 10, Levi Taylor. And Smith checking in for Bigfork. It'll be number 3, Wyatt Reichenbach. And Smith will go to line to shoot 2 for Malta. He misses them both. And 7-4 the score remains. And Fisher will bring it across the timeline. Fisher looking to drive, looking underneath. And kick by Smith out of bounds on the far side. The basketball remain in the hands, or possession, I should say, of the Vikings. 4:25 to go on your Bigfork Dental Center scoreboard. 7-4. Backdoor to Levi Taylor. Taylor up and under, and no good off the rim. And Oxnard comes up with the rebound. Out to Tuss. Out to Smith. Knocked away, but Tuss gets the rebound. Going to take it up. Blocked there partially by Thornus. Thornus goes up and in by number 42, Pierce, Mortensen, who just came in the ball game for Malta. Score the bucket, and he'll shoot the and one. And that's a second personal on Colt Thornus. And Isaac Bjorgi, number 23, will enter in and replace Colt Thornus, who sits down with 2 fouls. Shot up, no good. Rebounded. Taylor comes up with it. Taylor looking. Stops at the top of the key. He's going to settle things down for the Vikings. Fisher now with the ball. Top of the key. Looking. Out to Epperly. Epperly on the left side. The left wing. Kicks it out. Bjorgi. Right side. Reichenbach. Reichenbach looking to drive. And a player control foul. Number 3, Wyatt Reichenbach. That'll be his first personal and the 14th foul on Bigfork. Oxnard in the front court. Over to Costin. Costa back to Oxnard. Over to Tuss. Tuss gives it back to Oxnard, top of the key. And traveling is going to be the call as Mortensen gets it and took steps before he passed it out. And it'll be a turnover to the Vikings. 3:31, 9-4, Malta leads Bigfork here from Shelby, Montana in the Coyote Tip-Off Classic. Fisher over to Reichenbach on the right wing. Out top to Bjorky. Epperly on the left wing. Looking for Fisher, top of the key. Williamson out on him. Over to Wyatt Reichenbach on the right side. And Levi Taylor looking. Spin move, drive, left-handed. Shot off the rim and no good. Rebounded there by Tuss. Tuss will bring it up. Kicks it out to Costin. Costin inside to Smith. Smith blocked. It looked cleanly blocked, but they're going to call a foul. And that foul is going to be number 3, Wyatt Reichenbach. That'll be his second and 5th personal. And Mutt Smith will go back to the line. Tanner Smith shooting a lot of free throws here early for Malta, the 6'2 senior for the Mustangs. First shot on the way by Smith is good. Extends the lead to 10-4 with 2:58 to go on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Smith's second shot off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Mortensen, but puts a shot up and no good, and Taylor will come up with the rebound. Feeds it out to Fisher. Over to Reichenbach. Underneath to Bjorgy. Bjorgy looking to go up. Shot up off the rim and no good by Bjorgy. Up the court is Costin. Costin on the right side will kick it out to Oxnard. And Smith will take the shot off the rim. Levi Taylor comes up with the rebound. Up in the front court, Epperly, 3-point shot from the right wing. And he'll get 3 free throws as he hits it off the rim, and he's fouled there by number 12, Cooper Oxnard. And 3 shots for Epperly. Makes the first, 10-5, and Epperly will get another. Actually, 2 more. 1 more makes it. It's 10-6, and checking in will be number 0, Asher Van Kampen, and Eli Hines also returns for the Vikings as the Vikes pull within 4. Epperly makes all 3. And the Vikings are within 3 with 2:17 to go. Williamson, top of the key. Looking for Tuss on the right wing. Back out to Williamson. Williamson underneath to Mortensen. And kicks away. Picked up the loose ball by Epperly. Epperly is going to bring it up the right side, out to the front top of the key. And Walker Fisher looked to drive it, and he's going to get fouled on the drive. It'll be on the floor. And the Vikings will take it out. Fisher looking for Hines. Hines up off the backboard, shoots it too hard and no good. And Smith with a rebound from Malta brings it up the court. Williamson over to Tuss, right at the top of the key to Williamson, and Smith. Smith fakes left, goes right, but he travels, and it'll be turnover to Bigfork. 1:45 to go on the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. 10-7, Malta leads the Vikings here in the first quarter. Fisher looking, gets it over to Epperly. Epperly back to Fisher, top of the key, guarded by Williamson. Fisher driving right wing. Step back 3 is no good. And that'll be out of bounds off of Malta. And that'll be off Tanner Smith. It'll be Bigfork basketball. And Fisher will get a breather. And coming back in is number 14, Wyatt Duke for the Vikings. A tall lineup here. Inbound to Duke. Over to Epperly. Epperly lifted, gives it to Hines. Hines in the middle of the key. Turns, spins. Too hard. And Van Kampen will get the rebound, puts it back up, and he's going to get fouled by Connor Tuss. And Van Kampen will go to the line for the Vikings with 1:15 to go. First shot on the way is good, and that brings the Vikings within 2 at 10-8. Second shot up. Nothing but the bottom of the net by Van Kampen, and 10-9. The Vikings pull within 1. Into Williamson, up the court to Costin, underneath to Smith. Smith doing damage down low for Malta. Puts up the little baby hook. Good for a 2-point basket by the Mustangs. Excuse me. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline, top of the key. Epperly, just a freshman for Bigfork. Gives it out to Van Kampen. Loses it momentarily off his feet. Feeds it over to Hines. Hines on the left extended. Dribble out to the top of the key is Hines, guarded by Smith. Over to Epperly. Epperly's got the back door looking for Hines. Hines, top of the key. 3-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking to take it up and shoots it off the backboard. No good. And battling there. Smith for Malta comes up with the rebound. Gets it up to Tuss. Over to Costin. Costin on the right wing will kick it out to Tuss with 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. Over to Williamson. Back out to Tuss. Tuss, top of the key. Will give it over to Williamson. 3-point shot off the rim and no good. And rebound. The long rebound made there by number 22, Ben Costin. Tries to feed under to Smith. Gets it under Smith. Smith up and under. Over Bjorgi. Scores the 2-point bucket. And 4 seconds to go. And Epperly going to launch it from half court. It's good if it goes. Off the backboard and no good. So 1 quarter in the book. And the Malta Mustangs lead the Bigfork Vikings 14-9 on the Bigfork Dental scoreboard here from Shelby, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows, with you. 406-270-7384. Text me. Let me know that you can hear me out there. We'll take a small break. Let's listen to more of that interview with John Hollow.
To watch.
Yeah, and I agree with that. A different team. You got some guys that had a little bit of varsity experience last year during the regular season, a ton of JV experience in the middle, 6'7". Colt Thorness, right? Got Van Kampen.
I've ever coached. We're going to go as far as our seniors take us. They don't have to be our best players, but we need the leadership, the structure, and all that. And our 4 seniors have been phenomenal. I'm excited about Colt. I think he's a potential all-state kid. Reichenbach can shoot it when he gets confident. Asher plays as hard as any guy I've ever had. And Eli's one of those guys, we were just actually talking in the locker room, that he can kind of play any position you want him to play. So I'm excited for them. They've got some younger guys that are going to start tonight.
All right, the Vikings with the ball here for the second quarter. Hines is going to inbound to Epperly. So Epperly, Taylor, Duke, Van Kampen, and Hines remain in. Epperly looking to drive. Guarded there by Williamson. Out to the top of the key to Duke. Duke over to Taylor, left wing. Hines underneath, looking to take Cooper up. Hines, 6'5", puts it up, rolls around the rim and drops. Good. And Hines will go to the line to shoot the and one for the Vikings. Hines is shot up and good. And the Vikings will pull within 2 at 14-12 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard here in Shelby, Montana. Dribbling up the court is Williamson. Williamson looking, driving to the right. Van Kampen picks him up, stops him, kicks it out to Oxnard. Oxnard underneath. And blocked there by Wyatt Duke on the shot by 42 Mortensen. Up the key. Quickly up the court. And looked like going for a touchdown pass to Levi Taylor. And he can't quite get there. Turnover by Bigfork to Malta. Oxnard inbound to Williamson. Williamson dribbles it up, top of the key, picked up there by Taylor. Taylor drives on the floor. Look at Smith's going to go up and underneath, and blocked there by Wyatt Duke as Smith tries to go the up and under. It'll be off of Mortensen of Malta, and Bigfork basketball, 7:10 to go here in the first half. Hines will inbound it to Epperly. the freshman for the Vikings, across half court into the front court. Top of the key, gives it over to Van Kampen underneath the Hines. Hines looking to drive. Takes it up strong, does Hines. Off the rim and no good. Mortensen comes up with the rebound, feeds it out to Smith, up to Williamson, and off the hands. And nearly stolen there by Van Kampen as the pass was intended for Oxnard. Inbound, Williamson with the basketball, top of the key. 2-3 zone by the Vikings. Over to Oxnard, feeds underneath to Mortensen. Mortensen kicks it out to Tuss. Over to Williamson on the left wing. Underneath to Smith. Smith's done all the damage underneath. His shot is hard off the rim and comes up with his Epperly. Epperly tries to kick it down the court for Taylor on the run out, and Oxnard will knock it out of bounds. And Colt Thornus with 2 fouls will return to the ball game for the Vikings. 6:33 to go to halftime. The Vikings trailing 14-12 on your Montana Athletics scoreboard. Hines. As Van Kampen comes out, Hines the inbound, looks, he finds Epperly. Epperly bumped there by Williamson as he tried to go through Epperly to get to the basketball. And that'll be a foul. Number 24, Rex Williamson for Malta. And that'll put the Vikings in the 1-1, the bonus. And Epperly will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. First one up off the rim and no good. And rebound come up there by Ben Costin, the coach's son. Williamson gives it over to Oxnard. Oxnard, right wing, guarded there by Epperly. In the corner to Williamson. Hines picks him up. Kicked away. Down to Cooper. Cooper out to Williamson. Williamson, 3-point shot on the way from the right wing is good. 17-12. Malta leads the Vikings. Epperly in the front court to Hines. Hines left wing under Wyatt Duke. Wyatt Duke up and off the backboard is no good. He can't find that square. Put it up to Williamson. Williamson hard up the court. And there'll be a blocking foul on Colt Thornus. And they'll pick up his third. He's going to have to go out of the ball game. His third. He's going to have to sit the rest of the first half. And returning for the Vikings, it'll be number 3. Wyatt Reichenbach. And checking in is number 15, Bryce Gilliard for the Vikings. Knocked away by Mortensen. Gets it back over to Williamson underneath to Smith. Smith doing the damage for Malta. Up and under, good. 19-12. Quickly up the court to Taylor from Epperly on the right wing with Taylor with the basketball looking for Epperly. Does the handoff. And Epperly will bring it out top and set it up for the Vikings. Reichenbach, left wing, over to Epperly in the left corner. Feeds it out top. Wyatt Duke, 3-point shot in the way. Off the rim and no good. And Smith will come up the rebound for Malta. Up to Williamson, over to Oxnard. Oxnard looking, fakes. Williamson fakes it. Mortensen gets inside position, but shoots it too hard off the backboard. And Reichenbach comes up with the rebound, gives it out to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. He'll feed it over to Taylor. Taylor on the right wing, extended. Out top, Wyatt Duke gives it over to Wyatt Reichenbach. Shot on the way by Reichenbach, off the back of the rim, and no good by Wyatt. Quickly up the court to Oxnard. Oxnard, 2-point shot on the way up the backboard, and no good, but the whistle blows. And they're going to call foul number 15, Bryce Gilliard. Gilliard with his first personal. And that is the team's 8th or 7th team foul. Anyway, it's the bonus situation. It's a 1-and-1. And before they shoot the 1-and-1, is a timeout is being called by the head coach, David Costin of the Mustangs. A 30-second timeout. That means we'll stay right here. Yeah, I really want to thank my sponsors out there, Bigfork Dental Center, Bigfork Harvest Foods, and Montana Athletic Club. If you're listening out there and you want to sponsor, we have about 17 games with District for the year, or even a partial one, $25 a game. That gives us the capability to broadcast all these games on the road this year. So Bigfork Dental Center scoreboard shows Malta 19, the Vikings 12 with 4:53 to go. And Tanner Smith will go to the line to shoot for the Mustangs. First shot is up and good. And Canyon Styles is at the scores table coming in for Smith. Smith misses the second one. He'll stay in the ball game. And Taylor comes up with the rebound. Gets to Epperly. Epperly over to Wyatt Reichenbach left side. Out to Epperly. And Williamson steals the pass. Gives it up to Smith, but Williamson on stealing the pass. He'll step on the sideline on their side right in front of me. And a turnover. That'll be Canyon Styles coming in for Smith and Bigfork basketball. Wyatt Reichenbach taking it out, looking. Feeds it to Epperly. Epperly at the right wing. Fakes up Williamson, puts a shot up off the backboard, no good, but Wyatt Duke had it for momentarily, but taken away by Tuss. He'll give it over to Costin. Out to Styles. Styles goes back to Costin. Over to Oxnard. Corner. Williamson on the baseline. Shot no good, but rebound by Tuss. On the backside, puts it up for two. Epperly at point gives it over on the left wing to Wyatt Reichenbach. Reichenbach looking. Feeds it out. Bryce Gilliard from deep top of the key. 3-point shot, no good off the rim. And rebounded by Oxnard for Malta. Over the corner, Williamson kicks it out to Oxnard. Top of the key. Over to Styles. Styles on the right wing. Stolen by Epperly momentarily, but Williamson comes up with the loose ball. Puts the shot up and no good. And Levi Taylor will run it down for the Vikings. Taylor looking. Kicks it out. Epperly. Over to Reichenbach. Underneath. Bryce Gilliard. Left-handed shot off the rim and short on the left side. And Oxnard comes up with the rebound. Shot by Oxnard from three-point land off the rim and no good. And Tuss comes up with the rebound and puts it back up for two. And the Mustangs double up the Vikings 24-12, 3:21 to go on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly, front court, hands off to Taylor. Hands off to Reichenbach. They got to work out some kinks on those hands off. Underneath to Gilliard. Gilliard looking. Oh, he's got Duke underneath, but Gilliard, the left-handed baby hook off the backboard and good by Bryce Gilliard. And 24-14 with 3 minutes to go. Williamson quickly up to Costin. Costin back to Williamson. Over to Oxnard. Williamson, top of the key, feeds it underneath to Costin. Costin inside the free throw line, puts it up. Rebounded there by Epperly. And the Vikings will take a full timeout at 2:45 to go here till halftime. And they trail by 10, 24-14 here from Shelby, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of the Vows, with you, bringing you the broadcast in the tip-off tournament and the first game for the Vikings on the year. We'll have more. I'll bring it up at halftime. More of that interview I had with John Hallow, the new first-year head coach for the Vikings here before the game. And I'll bring the rest of that to you here momentarily here at halftime, along with the stats and scores as well. We'll have those here for halftime. And don't forget, coming out to this game at about 7:30 tonight, it'll be the Valkyries taking on the Mets and former head coach Nate Hammond for the Mets. Coach Bigfork back in the day. Matter of fact, back when I first started PAing and doing games back in 06, Nate Hammond was the girls' head coach. Bjorgi and Fisher in the ball game. Taylor, Hines, and Van Kampen for the Vikings. Fisher, top of the key. Brings it across the timeline. Looking to drive. Going to get a 5-second call. Move it. He moves it back door to Van Kampen. Van Kampen shot. No good. Hines with the rebound. Bounces around, kicks it out. And he'll bring it out to the right wing. Does Hines. Hines looking to drive. Up and under. Off the backboard. Whoop-de-doop. Shot by Hines is good. And 24-16, 2:14 to go. Over the corner, three-point shot on the way by Costin. Misses it off the rebound, but gets his own rebound. He drives in, and Taylor tries to grab it, and he's going to get called for the foul. Is Levi Taylor. That will be his second, the 8th team foul on the Vikes. And Ben Costin will shoot 2 for Malta with 2:07 to go. And he'll get 2, does Costin, as he was shooting 2. Off the rim and no good, or actually he was actually in the active shooting when he was fouled. And he misses the first one. Costin will get another. Shot on the way, off the rim and no good. And Bjorgi runs it down and touches the sideline. Good hustle there by Bjorgi. The Bigfork junior. And it'll be Malta basketball on the near sideline. And Bjorgi tries to steal it away from Oxnard in the backcourt. And it'll be traveling. You can't do that in basketball. You can't take a hop and shoot, and that's what Canyon Styles tried to do. And he'll get replaced by Williamson from Malta. And on the traveling violation, Bigfork will get the basketball just under 2 minutes to go, till halftime. Up the front court, Fisher gives it over left wing to Taylor. Taylor looking underneath. Finds Bjorgi at the top of the key. Looking for Hines underneath. Trying to get it to him. Gets it over to Van Kappen to Hines. Hines up and under, draws. Takes his shot up and he draws a foul. And that'll be on number 30. That'll be Tanner Smith. And Tanner Smith will pick up his second. And their leading scorer with 12 here in the first half. And Hines will go to the line. He'll get 2 shots, 1:39 to go. Hines' first shot on the way is good. And Smith is going to have to come out of the ballgame with 2 fouls. Their big guy underneath. And he's going to be replaced by number 42, Pierce Mortensen, for the Mustangs. Hines will get another. Shot up off the back of the rim and no good. And Tuss comes up with it, feeds it up the court to Williamson. Williamson can't quite catch himself and runs out of bounds. And it'll be turned over by the Mustangs and Bigfork basketball. Hines inbounds to Fisher. 1:30 and counting to halftime. Fisher will bring it across the timeline, set it up. Looking drive in the left. Looking back door. Can't find anybody. Gets it out to Hines. Hines extended left wing. He's going to look to drive on Tuss. Hines all the way. And that's going to be a player control foul. As Mortensen set up because he saw Hines coming, and he'll pick up the player control foul on Hines. And that will be Hines' first. No free throws on a player control foul. Up the court, right wing to Oxnard from Malta. Looking to drive. Stopped by Taylor. Looking underneath Mortensen. Pulls back, shoots the jumper. As Oxnard is good for 2. 1 minute to go. Fisher up to Taylor. Taylor, left wing extended. Looking underneath. Finds Hines. Hines at the free throw line extended. Fisher, 3-point shot on the way is good. Splash towel by Walker Fisher for the right wing for a 3-point basket for the Vikes. 40 seconds to go. They trail by 6, 26-20. Backdoor fed. And a smart play by Hines. Hines reached in and knocked it away and off the leg of number 22, Ben Costin. And 37 seconds to go. And trailing 26-20 on the Bigfork Dental scoreboard, the Vikings with the basketball. Fisher up, stops his dribble, throws it out, trying to get it Van Kappen, and Williamson steals it away. Left-handed layup. 28-20. 20 seconds to go. Into Van Kappen, back to Fisher. Fisher looking to drive right, looking underneath. Drives, feeds it out to Hines. Hines looking, spin move up and under, and they're going to call a traveling violation on Hines with 10.3 to go. Epperly will be back in. Epperly returns for the Vikings. And number 14, Darryl Meserly checks in for Malta. Backdoor to Ben Costin for 2. And the Vikings' last second shot on the way. 3-point off the backboard. Would have been good by Epperly as he crosses half court. So the Vikings come within 6 and give it up a couple loose balls there and turnover to allow Malta to stretch it out to a 10-point lead. 30-20 is your halftime score. And I'll get your stats and the rest of that. We've got a 10-minute halftime. I'll be back momentarily here from Shelby, Montana, and the Coyote Tip-Off Classic as the Vikings trail 30-20 on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. All right, welcome back to Shelby, Montana. I got more of that interview with first-year head coach John Hollow, and I'll play the rest of that right here while I get the stats for halftime.
That are going to fill some spots and that are going to do some great things too. So I just, like I said, I don't know what we're going to get out of here, but I can tell you this. I know we're going to play very hard. I know we're going to play together. We're probably going to look like a first-year team of a lot of varsity guys playing tonight, but at the same token, I think great things are on the horizon, and it starts tonight.
So I looked forward to the season as well. Back in the day in grade school, I got to coach a few of these kids, and now they're seniors. My son was senior, not playing this year, but I've seen those kids play and grow, and you got a lot of height.
We do, and you can't teach height. But we're not just 6'7" and can't move and 6'5" and can't move. Our big guys are very athletic. I think people are going to be surprised when they see how big we are, but how athletic we are on top of that. So, I like I said, I'm excited to see. There's a lot of firsts for me tonight. I've probably never been this unknowing going into a season of what to expect from guys, just because I'm new, they're new, it's a new system. We've been real slow getting some things done, but when it's all said and done, it's still about putting the ball in the hole, and I think we got 10 legitimate guys that can do that.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out to join me on the pregame show. The Vikings getting ready in the Coyote Tip-Off Classic to take on the Malta Mustangs. Good luck, Coach, tonight, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, that was first-year head coach. I talked to John Hollow before the game, but didn't have time to get all of it in, so I wanted to finish that up there here at halftime. 4 minutes, we'll go to the second half, and the Vikings are trailing. And your halftime is brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. What's keeping you from getting fit? Well, with discount guest passes, personal training, Pilates, 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, Montana, 837-2582. Call Doug and Nancy Mallon, get signed up at the Bigfork Athletic Club. Get yourself down over here, especially during this winter season. Halftime stats, looking at, first of all, for the Malta Mustangs. Total points, Oxnard with 2, Ben Costin with 5, 2 by Williamson, 5 by Costin and Williamson. The leading scorer, Tanner Smith, with 12 to lead the way. Connor Tutts was 4, and Mortensen with 2. So balance scoring a total of 30 for Malta. Fouls, looking at fouls. You find that on here. Oxnard with 2, 1 each for Costin and Williamson, and 2 by Tanner Smith. So for the Vikings, Court Thorness did not score in the first half, but 3 personal fouls. He's got to be on the floor to be effective. Leading the way is Hines with 6, 3 by Walker Fisher on that 3-point shot. Nice shot by Fisher. 4 by Levi Taylor. 2 each by Bryce Gilliard and Asher Van Kampen for a total of 20. So the only one really in foul trouble is Thorness with 3. Taylor has 2, and so is Wyatt Reichenbach on the score sheet. Total of 9. Total rebounds, got out-rebounded 26-16. So the Vikings need to do a better job, and Coach is probably talking about that at halftime, at boxing out and controlling the board in the second half. Like you said, a young team, and you lose all those seniors from last year, two-time defending state champ. They got to get their legs under them, play a game, and see how they work together here in this first game of the season. Well, James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows here from the Tip-Off Classic here in Shelby, Montana. 406-270-7384. I saw Judy Lilienthal listening all the way from Florida, so we're stretching across, probably a little warmer there. The drive over, a little slick through the park, as you can expect. A little snow and ice, but other than that, a nice drive over here, and about 38, 39 degrees when we got here, but the wind blowing pretty extensively here out of the west. So Malta scored 14 in the first, 16 in the second, total of 30. Bigfork 9 and 11 for a total of 20. They got within 26-20. I thought they were going to pull it closer, but turned it over there late in the first half and have to take better care of the basketball. Well, after the Vikings wrap this one up, the Valkyries will be in action taking on the Malta Emmets, and we'll have that game for you as well on BFSD events here on UTEP. Both teams coming out a little bit late. I think we went with a 10-minute halftime break because of the tournament to keep games on schedule. All those, these are the only 2 scheduled games for tonight. 3 officials working this game tonight. And it'll be Thorness, Taylor, Hines, Wyatt Duke, and Walker Fisher to start the second half for the Vikings. And the second half is brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods. For all your grocery needs, including an amazing bakery, deli, produce, much, much more. 8111 Highway 35 in Bigfork, 837-5010. Marcus Bragos and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Foods. Thanks for sponsoring Bigfork Athletics and the Vikes and Vows. Williamson gets the ball inbounds. Across the key, they head it right to left. Underneath, wide open, is Connor Tuss. And fed in, and he makes the basket, 32-20. Up the court quickly, Hines, right wing. Looks underneath, looking for Duke, out to Fisher. Fisher, top of the key, guarded by Williamson. Over to Hines in the right wing. Hines looking underneath, looking for Thorness. Over his head is the pass. Tuss intercepts it as it goes over Colt's head. Underneath, Smith. Smith shot up and on the way. And they're going to whistle Colt Thorness with his 4th personal. And that's going to hurt the Vikings. He'll have to sit down. As Tanner Smith will go to the line to shoot 2 as Thorness picks up his 4th here early in the second half. First shot off and no good by Smith. And Isaac Epperly is going to check in for Walker Fisher. And Thorness will stay in the ball game. Coach is going to ride it with them and let him learn. Thorness gets a rebound off the missed shot. Feeds it up to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. Feeds it over to Hines. Hines on the right side, on the right wing, extended. Thorness is going to set the screen. Hines is going to look to drive up off the backboard. Oh, in and out, but Hines gets a rebound. Taylor picks it up. Loose ball off the backboard, and good by Levi Taylor. 32-22, 7 minutes to go on the Bigfork Dental scoreboard. The Vikings trail by 10. Williamson over to Oxnard in the right corner. Underneath, Tanner Smith underneath, fed by Williamson, and Taylor got there late, and Tanner Smith is just tearing up the Vikings tonight underneath. That is his 14th point already in the ball game. And he'll go to the line to shoot the and 1 as the personal foul is on number 10, Levi Taylor. So Taylor with 3, Thorness with 4. And they'll remain in the ball game. Smith shot up off the rim and no good. Thorness with rebound. He looks to Epperly. Epperly looking to push it up. Up to Taylor. Back to Thorness. Thorness off the backboard is no good off the rim. And Tuss over to Costin. Costin on the left side, on the left wing, guarded there by Taylor. Out to the top, Williamson, top of the key for Malta. Costin, 3-point shot on the way. No good, misses everything, and Wyatt Duke comes up with the rebound. Epperly, top of the key. Hines on the left wing. Back out to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. Looks to drive. Clears it out, looking for Thorness. Thorness will get it left-handed hook. Baby hook is no good. Thorness cannot find his shot tonight. He usually makes those. And rebounded by Malta. Williamson comes out with it. Feeds it up to Oxnard, and Taylor will pick up his 4th personal as he tries to make the steal. And Taylor will come out of the ball game, the sophomore, and replaced by Asher Van Kampen. 6:05 to go, 34-22. Malta leads the Vikes on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Williamson, guard top K, knocked about by Epperly. Tuss will drive it in over to Williamson. Oxnard 3-point shot for the right side is good by Malta. 5:45 to go. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline. Over to Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking underneath. Wyatt Duke, top of the key, over to Hines. Hines left side brings out to Epperly. Epperly top of the key, looking to drive. And up and under is Epperly. No, shot no good off the backboard. Rebounded by Smith. Over to Tuss. Tuss looking for Williamson. Williamson on the right wing, guarded by Van Kampen. Out to Tuss. And to the top of the Costin will set it up. A 2-3 zone by the Vikings. Over to Oxnard. 3-point shot behind the 3-point line is no good. And off the hands of Hines, it'll be Malta basketball underneath. And Hines will be replaced by Wyatt Reichenbach for the Vikes. Underneath. Gives it Smith. Blocked by Thornus, who has 4. Smith went up. And a clean block there by Colt. But Malta with possession of the ball. Oxnard, top of the key, gives over to Williamson. Williamson going to feed out to Costin. Oxnard left corner, and he steps on the sideline. And out of bounds, turn over to Bigfork. 4:52 to go here in quarter number 3. The Vikings trail by 15, 37-22. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly brings it across the timeline for the Vikings. Epperly looking for Van Kampen. Van Kampen on the right wing, looking for Thornus. Thornus take it up left hand. First shot in for Colt Thornus is good. 37-24. Williamson over to Costin back to Tuss. Tuss going to take it up. And Colt has to back off, and Tuss will score it. And Epperly across the timeline, top of the key, feeds it over Van Kampen. Van Kampen going to feed underneath to Wyatt Duke. Wyatt Duke shoots it too hard off the backboard and no good. And Malta brings it up. Oxnard, right side. Going to feed it out to Tuss. Tuss over. Feeds it over to far corner. 3-point shot on the way by Rex Williamson is good by Malta. 42-24. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly. 3:53 to go. Over to Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking underneath. Gives it to Duke. Duke underneath. Thornus off the back glass and good on the left-handed shot by Colt Thornus, and he's getting on a run right here. That's 2 buckets in a row. 42-26. Williamson underneath, and on the floor is Thornus, and a jump ball between him and Smith. And Colt's trying to be careful so he doesn't pick up that 5th and get eliminated from the ball game. Checking back in, number 42, Pierce Mortensen for Malta. Checking in for the Vikings. And returning is number 15, Bryce Gilliard for the Vikes. 3:32 to go. 42-26. Reichenbach inbounds to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key for the Vikes. Gilliard's going to set a screen. Top of the key, left-handed shot by Gilliard. 3-point shot on the way, no good, but Duke comes up with the rebound, lays it up over the rim, and good. 42-28 with 3:15 to go. Inbound, Williamson over to Oxnard on the left side. Underneath, wide open is Smith for the layup. Missed assignment there by the Vikes. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline, top of the key, looking to set it up. Under 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Epperly, left wing extended. Gives it out, Wyatt Reichenbach. Feeds it over to Van Kampen. Van Kampen, it's blocked out of bounds by Oxnard. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath. 2:49 to go and 44-28 on your Bigfork Dental Center scoreboard as the Vikings trail. Reichenbach inbounding. Off the leg of Tuss right to Wyatt Duke. You just had to see that one. Epperly, top of the key, and he tries to throw it. He's going to travel on the turnover by the Vikings. The inbound play, Wyatt had nowhere to go. He meant to throw it off the leg out of bounds to get another one. It goes right off of Tuss's leg right to Wyatt Duke. Oxnard on the drive, knocked away by Bryce Gilliard, and out of bounds. It'll be Malta basketball with 2:35 to go. Williamson inbounding in the backcourt to Oxnard from Malta. Back to Williamson. Vikings in a man-to-man defense. Epperly is going to pick up Williamson, right wing. Kicks it underneath Smith, and Epperly comes up with a loose ball as it's knocked away. Epperly, free throw line extended, shot up, and no good, and there's going to be a foul, and that foul is going to be on number 24, Rex Williamson, his second, and Epperly the line to shoot 2. First shot up and good by Epperly. That is their first team foul for Malta here in the second half. 2:18 to go, and Epperly will get another one. Shot up and on the way is good. 44-30. Vikings trail by 14 with 2:18 to go. Long shot up to Williamson, knocked away by Epperly, and Wyatt Duke comes up the loose ball. across the timeline, gives it up to Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking to extend it to the top of the key. Van Kampen over to Wyatt Reichenbach. On the left wing, over to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key. 3-point shot by Epperly off the backboard, off the rim, no good. And Williamson's going to come up around the back, and Williamson's looking to drive. And Gilliard blocks that shot. Mortensen tries to take it up, and blocked by Wyatt Reichenbach. And Gilliard will come up with the loose ball, gives it out to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key, 1:40 to go. Epperly, screened by Gilliard. And going to give it to Bryce Gilliard. Bryce Gilliard looking to feed out Wyatt Reichenbach on the floor. Reichenbach gets up, tries to throw it to Gilliard, intercepted by Smith. Up to Williamson. Williamson on the fast break, scores the 2 for Malta. Inbound. Van Kampen back to Epperly. 1:22 to go. Epperly across the timeline. The Vikings trail by 16, 46-30 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Epperly, right wing, looking out front. A lazy pass stolen away by Oxnard, meant for Van Kampen. And Oxnard will take it in. And they're going to call a blocking foul as Van Kampen gets there a little bit late as Oxnard was driving to the hole. And that'll be his first personal. And basket does not fall. Oxnard will get 2 for Malta. First shot on the way and good. Returning for Malta, it'll be number 22, Ben Costin, and Oxnard. Cooper Oxnard will get another shot, another free throw for Malta. Off the front of the rim and no good. And Cooper Smith comes up with the rebound, puts a shot up, no good. And Gilliard comes up with the rebound. Over to Van Kampen, over to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key, under a minute to go here in quarter number 3. Epperly, left wing extended, looking to set it up, going to drive it into the corner. Tries to feed to Gilliard, gives it to Gilliard, Gilliard right back to Epperly. Epperly looking, feeds back to Gilliard, and it'll be a wait for the signal. And they're going to call it jump ball. Actually, it's not jump ball anymore. It's a held ball. Isaac Bjorgi, Levi Taylor, Walker, Fisher come in the ball game for the Vikings with 45 seconds to go, and the Vikings trail by 17 here in quarter number 3. Long shot down to Williamson. Williamson on the drive, off the backboard, no good. And Bjorgi right there clears the rebound, gives it up to Fisher. Fisher across the timeline. Wyatt Reichenbach left wing. Fisher, top of the key, extended, off the rim, and no good. If he takes another step in, he probably makes that one. 28 seconds to go. Malta with the basketball. It's Costin dribbling up, guarded by Taylor. Over to Williamson on the left wing. Williamson looking to drive. And he's going to get hooked. And it'll be on the floor, so it should be underneath. And they're going to call that at number 15, Bryce Gilliard. And that is Bryce's second 4th-team foul. Gabe Grendy will come in for Bigfork, replacing Gilliard here in quarter number 3. Smith inbounding to Williamson. 15 seconds to go. Out to Costin. Costin, top of the key, guarded by Taylor. Taylor over to Oxnard. Oxnard, left wing extended. Smith. Oxnard, 3-point shot on the way, off the rim. Rebound by Fisher with 3 seconds to go. He's got to get it up. 3-point shot from long distance off the backboard. Oh, he just misses it. That would have been good, and that would have counted as he got it off in time. So that's the end of quarter number 3 on your Montana Athletic and Bigfork scoreboard. What's keeping you from getting fit with this kind of guest passes, personal training, Pilates, much, much more at the Montana Athletic Club. They got tennis, they got squash, they got racquetball, they got basketball, they got all kinds of things, lifting, and personal trainers. They're located at 850 Holt Drive in Bigfork, 837-2582 here from Shelby, Montana. The Vikings 30 and the Malta Mustangs 47 as we head to quarter number 4. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals, with you from the Coyote Tip-Off Classic. We're back momentarily with the 4th quarter. All right, welcome back to Shelby, Montana. Fourth quarter possession belongs to Bigfork. Cassidy and Janine Reichenbach are listening as well out there. Thanks for tuning in to Bigfork Vikings basketball on the BFS, the events here on YouTube. Fisher, top of the key, gives it over the right side to Levi Taylor. Look underneath for Grendy. No, out to the top of the key to Bjorgi. Bjorgi gives it out to Wyatt Reichenbach. Fisher, top of the key, three-point shot, splashdown. Right at the bottom of the net as Fisher makes a three. Oxnard brings it up the left side, and they're going to call a carry. And a good call there by the referee. Oxnard dribbled the basketball, got over the side of it instead of on top, and turn over to Bigfork. So 47-33 on that big three-point by Fisher, and the Vikings will inbound. Fisher, top of the key, over to Wyatt Reichenbach on the left side. Feeds it to Bjorgi. Borgi shot up off the backboard, no good, and Grendy in there fighting for it, but 22. Costin will come up with the rebound for Malta. Up Oxnard. Oxnard in the corner to Tuss. Tuss nearly trapped there. Brings it out to the top of the key to Costin. Costin will guarded by Wyatt Reichenbach. Goes to the left side to Smith. Smith there leading score was 16. Gives it up to Costin. Costin out to Oxnard. Oxnard driving. Pulls up in the middle. No good, and brought down by Mortensen. And on the rebound, Wyatt Reichenbach is going to get called for the foul. Yeah, that'll be Wyatt's third, and the 15th foul on Bigfork. And Pierce Mortensen, will go to the line to shoot two for Malta. First shot off the back of the rim, and no good. And returning for the Vikings, number 2, Eli Hines, replacing Wyatt Reichenbach. With 6:53 to go in the ball game. Second shot on the way, and good. And Williamson will come back to replace Mortensen for Malta. Bjorgi inbound to Fisher. Fisher, top of the key. Guarded by Williamson. Right wing to Taylor. Top of the key, Bjorgi. Three-point shot, Bjorgi off the front of the rim and no good. And rebounded by Oxnard. Oxnard looking to get it up to Cooper. Tanner Smith. Tanner Smith loses it out of bounds. And a turnover by Malta. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 6:35 to go. Fisher across the timeline. Top of the key. Oh. Taylor cut in. Oxnard steals it away. And Fisher has to foul Oxnard on the drive. A couple loose passes there by the Vikings. And he take care of better care of the basketball on there. And Oxnard will go to the line to shoot two. First shot is up and good. Epperly, along with Thornus, will come back in the ball game, replacing Grendy and Fisher for the Vikings with 6:25 to go on a Bigfork Dental scoreboard, and the Vikings trail 49-33. Second free throw is no good. Bjorgi with the rebound, poked away, keeps it. He'll give it up to Epperly. Epperly will bring it across the timeline. Epperly, just the freshman, feeds it over to the left side to Taylor. Taylor underneath to Colt Thornus. Colt Thornus battling for it, can't make the shot. Battles it with Oxnard. Colt playing with those 4 personal fouls. No good. Over to Tuss. Gives it up to Williamson. Williamson looking to drive. Oxnard, left side, three-point shot on the way is good. And 52-33, the Vikings trail. Epperly looking to get it inbounds. Finds Taylor. Going to give it back to Epperly with 5:40 to go. Epperly looking to dribble up the court. Up the right side. Guarded by Williamson. He'll dribble it over the left side. Gives it out. Taylor, top of the key. Fakes a three. Pulls the right elbow off the rim and no good. And following the shot, putting it back up is Colt Thornus for 2 for the Vikings. Quickly up. Costin, right wing. Shoots it, no good. Rebound by Epperly. Epperly looking to feed Colt Thornus. Thornus going in. Couldn't quite handle it. Tries around the back to get it to Hines as he's falling out of bounds. And turnover by Bigfork with 5:11 to go. It'll be timeout. A full timeout will be taken by the Malta Mustangs. This timeout brought to you by the Bigfork Dental Center. Dr. Aaron Price and team at Bigfork Dental Center are proud to support Vikes and Vals athletics. See Dr. Aaron Price and her dental team for all your dental needs, including digital radiographs, tooth-colored fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, dentures, and much more. And now accepting new patients of all ages. Call today at 837-5611 or BigForkDental.com. Dr. Aaron Price and the Bigfork Dental Center team. 52-35 as the Vikings trail here on the Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard in their first game of the season here at the Tip-Off Classic. Again, they'll play tomorrow as they will take on Belt High School, and that game will be here on BFSD Events. That game will be at 11:30 is the scheduled time, hoping everything runs on schedule. And they'll take on the Belt team from Shelby, Montana. The Valkyries are up next at 7:30 as they take on the Emmets from Malta inbound. Long pass to Smith. Wide open. Goes up, fakes it up and under, and Smith gets Bjorgi off the ground and makes the two. Epperly up in the front court. Knocked away by Williamson. Epperly's got to get it across the timeline. And he does. Epperly looking to drive. Feeds it out to Hines. Hines back to Epperly. Epperly, three-point shot from the right wing is good by Isaac Epperly. 54-38 with 4:40 to go. Oxnard across the timeline on the right side. He'll bring it into the middle. Gives it off to Williamson. Williamson on the drive. Lays it up off the backboard and good. And a very late whistle there. A block, and that'll be called on Levi Taylor. That'll be his fifth, and Van Kampen will have to come in the ball game for the Vikings, replacing the sophomore Levi Taylor. And Williamson will go to the line to shoot the N1. Up and good, 57-38. Bjorgi into Epperly, back to Bjorgi. Hands it off to Epperly. Epperly, top of the key extended, guarded by Williamson. Feeds it out. Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking to drive. Kicks it out. Hines, top of the key. Colt Thornus, three-point shot, top of the key, off the rim, and no good, and rebounded by Van Kampen. He feeds it up to Hines. Hines off the foot, and it'll stay here with the Vikings as it goes off the foot of one of the Malta Mustangs. It'll be Bigfork basketball. 4:06 to go and trailing 57-38. Epperly cannot handle the pass from Thornus out of bounds on the near side and turnover to Malta. Inbound to Costin from Williamson. Across the timeline. Guarded by Hines. Hand off to Williamson. Williamson looking to drive. Feeds it up to Smith. Smith reverse layup block there by Bjorgi. And he'll feed it out to Epperly. Epperly up the left side for the Vikings. Epperly feeds it underneath. Gives it out to three-point shot on the way by Van Kampen. In and out. And Thornus and Smith comes up with it. Surprised that wasn't a jump ball. Gives it out to Oxnard. Back to Costin. Costin, hand off to Oxnard. Oxnard looking to drive. And the whistle blows. And that's going to be a foul on Asher Van Kampen. And that is his second and 19th foul. And 1-1 for Oxnard. Cooper Oxnard, the 6'2 senior. First shot on the 1-1 is no good, so no bonus. Gives it out. Bjorgi out to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline. Around his back. Going to shoot. Gives it up. Nice pass. There to Colt Thornus on the give and go by Epperly. The Thornus, and Thornus scores the left-handed layup. 3:10 to go. 57-40. Epperly guarding Williamson. Tuss looking to drive. Shot up and good. Bjorgi into Epperly. 3 minutes to go. Epperly will give it over to Hines on the left side. As they're in motion, Bjorgi, three-point shot in the way, nothing. Doesn't even draw iron as he shoots it short. And it'll be turned over to Malta. Returning is number 5, Walker Fisher. for the Vikings. Stolen by Hines. It's trying to get it into Costin. Hines looking to drive up, and he's going to get 2 shots as he takes it to the 6'2" Costin. And Hines, being 6'5", has the advantage there on the drive. 59-40. The Vikings trail. Hines will get 2. First shot is good. 2:42 to go on the Montana Athletics scoreboard. 59-41, the Vikings trail the Mustangs of Malta High School. Second shot is good. And they put the score on the wrong team. Should be 59-42, and they're going to correct that. Across the timeline is Costin. Hines guarding him. And Williamson looking to drive, kicks it out to Tuss. Tuss over to Costin. They're running that little weave, and Oxnard will shoot a 3 off the back of the rim, no good. And coming up with it is Thornes, tries to get it out to Van Kampen and turns it over to Oxnard, and it's going to be held ball as Van Kampen will tie up number 12, Oxnard, and possession belongs to Malta. Bryce Gilligan returning the lineup for the Vikings with 2:18 to go. Tuss inbound backcourt to Williamson. Williamson guarded by Fisher. Tries to steal it away, and off of Oxnard, Fisher's going to take it up all the way coast to coast with a layup, and 59-44. The Vikings are playing hard and not going to quit. Inbound to Costin, guarded by Bryce Gilliard. Out to Oxnard. Oxnard pressure by Van Kampen. Oxnard all the way, and they're going to count the bucket as the blocking foul is going to be called on number 0. Van Kampen is 3rd and 10th team foul, so Oxnard will go to the line and shoot 2. Try to complete the three-point play. We call that the old-fashioned way. Misses it. Thornes tips it up, and Bjorgi comes up with the corner. Fisher looking, gets it up to Gilliard. Gilliard over to Colt Thornes. Three-point, or shot on the way from the left side, and no good. And Van Kampen tried to steal it away. Gets a held ball, or check that. Oxnard is on the end line. It's not a jump ball, and it'll be possession to Bigfork. 61-44, 142 to go. Trying to inbound, Thornes will get called for the push, and that's his 5th, and he'll foul out of the ball game. Wyatt Reichenbach will check back in the ballgame with 1:42 to go for Thornes. 61-44 on the Bigfork Dental scoreboard. Tuss looking to go long, fakes it, gets it into Williamson. Williamson in the backcourt. Fisher right there guarding him. They're going to try to get a 10-second call. Fisher steals it, comes up, shoots it off the back of the rim, and no good as he steals it away there from Williamson. The 5'7" junior Fisher on the 6' Williamson, and Fisher will go to the line, and he'll get 2 shots. First shot is up and good. 61-45, 1:34 to go. Coach John Hoddle seeing what kind of, make sure that Vikings have no quit. Makes the second one, 61-46. Tuss with the basketball, guarded there by Wyatt Reichenbach. In the corner to Williamson. With 1:27 to go, and foul's going to be called on Walker Fisher. That's his 2nd. And 2 shots the rest of the way for Malta as Rex Williamson will go to the line. Makes the first one. 62-46. That is his 14th point for Malta. And he'll get one more with 1:27 to go. makes the second one 63-46 on the Montana Athletic scoreboard. The Vikings trail with 1:25 to go. Fisher, top of the key, gives it over to Van Kampen. Van Kampen looking to drive, pulls it up, little floater off the backboard, and no good. Rebounded there by Tuss, but Tuss going to the ground. A traveling violation as he goes to the ground. Bigfork with the basketball. Into Gilliard. Gilliard feeds it out to Fisher. Fisher, three-point shot on the way is good from the right wing. In the right corner, 63-49. Williamson. Fisher guarding him. Trying to steal away. Fisher nearly takes it. And Bigfork comes up with the loose ball to Fisher. Feeds up to Van Kampen. Knocked away by Smith. Smith will give it up to Oxnard for Malta, and he's going to kick it. And a good hustle by Van Kampen as he dives for the loose ball. And he's going to call for the foul on Oxnard. So Oxnard will go to the line to shoot two as a bonus. It's a fourth on Asher Van Kampen. Oxnard makes the first, 64-49, and Oxnard has 13 on the night. Gabe Grindy will replace Isaac Bjorgi for the Vikes with 48 seconds to go here in this ball game. Don't forget the Valkyries are up next. I will stop this game and start a new one for the Valkyries. Second shot is no good, and come up with the rebound is Malta's Tuss. Van Kampen guarding Oxnard. Knocked away by Gilliard, but Costin will come up with a Gabe Granny, gets on the ground, and it'll be a held ball. The Vikings will get the held ball possession here as Reichenbach will inbound in the backcourt to Fisher with 35.7 to go. Trailing 64-49 the Vikes on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Walker out to Gilliard. Gilliard from deep, about 4 feet beyond the top of the key, and makes a three-point shot. Does Bryce Gilliard, the lefty. Just a freshman as well is Gilliard. Nice shot. Inbound to Tuss. Tuss looking to drive, gets over to Smith. Smith out the top of the key. Oxnard, the clock's going to run down. Just let it go. And Van Kampen's going to foul out. Bjorgi will come back in for the Vikings. Right there, you just got to back off and let the clock run in that particular situation. Shot up by 22. Ben Costin, he misses the first, and he'll get one more with 6.6 to go. Second shot on the way is good, 65-52. Inbound Fisher, 5 seconds to go. And looking to get Fisher long three on the way out the backboard over the rim, and no good. And that will be your ball game. Your final from Shelby, Montana. The Malta Mustangs 65, your Bigfork Vikings 52, and a few things to work on for Bigfork. But I think Coach Hollow wanted to see how they work together and see what personnel he works on. They never quit, I'll say that about them tonight. They just weren't getting shots to fall. Colt got in early foul trouble, and that's your big guy in the middle. And when he gets in foul trouble and he's out of the ball game, fouled out early in the third quarter, that takes away from what your offense is trying to do, and wasn't hitting very well. Usually he makes those shots. The same thing with some others missing some shots, so they got to work on that. But, some new kids stepping up and playing. Bryce Gilliard, I think, looked good, and Epperly. A couple shots there. They look good. They're just freshmen, so they'll have to get their varsity experience, get their feet wet, as they say. I'll be back here momentarily with your full game stats from Shelby, Montana. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows from Shelby, Montana. All right. James LaFontaine with you, the voice of the Vikes, the Vows, and your post-game stats brought to you by Bigfork Harvest Foods for all your grocery needs, including an amazing bakery, deli, produce, everything you need in groceries. Check out Bigfork Harvest Foods, 8111 Highway 35, Bigfork, 837-5010. Say hello to Marcus Balgos and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Foods and tell them thank you for sponsoring Bigfork Athletics. Well, leading the way, a pretty balanced scoring going on for Malta. Oxnard with 13, 6 by Costin. Williamson had 15, 18 by Tannersmith, and Connor Tuss with 10, and 3 by Mortensen. So for your, starters getting in double digits, and that's definitely good. Out rebounding the Vikes 42-33. So the Vikings did a better job at rebounding in the second half. And leading the way was 13 points by Walker Fisher for the Vikings. Thornus and Hines 8 apiece, 6 by Levi Taylor. White Duke with 2, 8 by Isaac Epperly. Van Kampen with 2. Bryce Gilliard had 5. Total of 52. Your final 65-52. And the Vikings will put things back together and play tomorrow as they take on Belt High School. That'll be at 11:30. I'll be on about 10 minutes, hopefully before game time. Talk with Coach Hollow before the game and bring that game for you. We look forward to talking to you and broadcasting that game tomorrow afternoon at 11:30 as the Vikings will take on the Belt High School. For now, your final for the Vikes, 65-42 was the final here. And from Shelby, Montana. Thanks for joining in. Thanks to my sponsors. Excuse me, 65-52. So a 13-point loss by the Vikes that never gave up. Anyway, gotta get ready for doing up next. It is the Valkyries taking on the Emmets. I'm going to close this one down and open up a new one for that ball game. So if you're listening now, make sure you rejoin the live broadcast here in just a minute. Once again, from Shelby, Montana, James LaFontaine with you. Thanks for listening to Vikings basketball here on BFST Events on YouTube. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.